This is Mr. Klenert, along with a senior student here. We'd like to provide some resources to parents and students on how to use Teams for academic purposes at Hayfield High School. This is the first of many short videos explaining some of the features of Teams that many of our teachers utilize 6 through 12. Before we start, I'd like to take a quick moment to thank Corinne Bjornson for assisting. So you could see the student side of Teams, just like many of your students might have. And we hope this video can serve as a resource. And like I said, it's the first of many to come. So the first portion of this Teams video tutorial is going to be just a quick overview of Teams. So every student should have, you can access Teams in one of two ways. You can access Teams through your email, and it's part of your Teams. That's the web version, or the desktop version. You can just go to your desktop and click on Teams. Now, every student should have desktop version installed on their school laptop, and that's the best way to access Teams is on the desktop version. Here, Corinne's already clicked open the desktop version, and I just want to take a couple minutes and go through each of the functions. So you can see on the left-hand side of the column there's activity. That's giving a general overall feed of what is going on for her activities in all of her teams. So if you look at her feed, that is just kind of an overview of what she has done in Teams in the last week or so. You can see if she scrolls all the way up, the last thing that she has in there is a missed call for me as we were setting and getting ready to prepare for this video. Also, she has posts and files. You can see just kind of an overview of all the activity that you have in Teams. The next function on Teams that you can use is the chat. Now the chat function is individual with students, teachers, and groups. So if you want to have an individual conversation with a student or a teacher, the chat function is the way to go. There's also a chat function in Teams, which we'll explain later. The benefit of the chat function in the Teams, this version, the individual chat function right now, is this is a private chat. So only the people included in this thread get to see it. Whereas if you post on the actual team, which is the next button, which we'll talk about, that is viewable by everybody in the class. So you want to make sure that if you want to individually message somebody, you do it in the chat function. Teams, the next tab down is the Teams function. If you look at Corinne's Teams, this is where all of her classes are established for online. So we will do a video later explaining what to look at when you get into each of the teams. But every course, almost every course, should have a team. So you can see here Corinne's calendar is college biology, 12th grade government, senior high band, astronomy, probability and statistics, homeroom communication. All of her courses are listed in that Teams tab. We'll do a video later when we click on one of those tabs to access what is in each of those classes for resources, but that is how you kind of get an overview of each class. The next tab down is assignments, and this is where students, some teachers can go ahead and access assignments. Now it's taking a while to load on Corinne's computer, but there you go. So for example, here you can kind of see some assignments that she is filling out and have been assigned, and other ones that have been completed. And we will kind of walk through how to use the assignment tab, on how to access and how to submit assignments using this, but the assignments tab is one of the ways in which teachers assign assignments. Not all of the ways, it's one of the ways in the Teams function. The other one is Moodle, and there are a few other ways, but the assignments tab is one we can use for that. If you go down to the calendar tab, the calendar tab can be used for two functions. One, teachers can send meeting invitations for class. So if a student has for example, this is a great calendar right now because we can look at in 15 minutes, Corinne goes back to her calendar piece. In 15 minutes, she has a first hour psychology class meeting that is right on her calendar that she can hit join for in 15 minutes. So as well as other teachers have put in their calendar for meetings. So it is her daily calendar, and you can also see that a few classes do not have meetings set up, and they will be just on a call, just like we have set up a call. But this is a good setup for a student who's online, how you can access your calls and you can see on your calendar. Also, the calendar can double. The calendar can double as a great agenda item, an electronic agenda for students if they wanted to put in when assignments are due or when they have additional meetings outside of when things are scheduled in class. The calendar is a great function. Next tab down is calls. If they just want to call anybody, it's very similar to a video call or a voice call, either or. You can call anyone in our system that has a Hayfield email. And for purposes, it's very similar to FaceTime, the voice call function, very similar to what Corinne and I are doing right now to kind of set up a call. And the last tab on the bottom of the Teams tabs here is Files. And Files is just a connection to OneDrive. And those are all the resources and all the files that a student has that they have put in their OneDrive. So you can see here in Corinne's files, there are some Chapter 9 notes, there's a Chapter 6 discussion, and a lot of other work which she has been doing in her other classes, which has been saved on the OneDrive. Now, this is accessible in the student's OneDrive, which is in their email, or via Teams, since both platforms merge together. But just wanted to provide a quick overview of what to look like when you upload Teams. And remember, you want to use the desktop version of Teams. And then you can look forward to future videos explaining each of the tabs in a little more in depth. I want to thank you for joining us for our first video on an overview of Teams. Thank you.